Yeah, it's been amazing to be able to come back into camp. Like you say, it's been a tough couple of weeks, but what a great environment for me to come back into. The boys have welcomed me back and been there for me, but given me enough time and space. But this is a huge game this weekend. This is one that I'm desperate to be involved in, and we've got a huge amount of respect for Scotland and what they've done over the last few years, and the team that Gregor and Finn and Rory have sort of created here. And we know it's a huge test, and I love playing at Murrayfield, so it's nice to be back in Edinburgh.
What does the fixture mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, the history of the Calcutta Cup is one that you sort of remember from the early days, and I remember it sitting around as a family watching these games, the history that comes with it. But you probably don't realise how big it is until you actually feature in it. You do the drive around Murrayfield where the fair amount of abuse comes your way on the England team bus, and that that's something that you've got to embrace, you've got to love. We know that Edinburgh and Murrayfield create a huge amount of atmosphere around game days, and our form over the last few years in terms of the Calcutta Cup probably hasn't been good enough. We know the record speaks for itself, and ultimately our goal is to come here and change that.
As the recent records, is that part of the players that have been involved in this? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the motivation. I think you can use motivation in many different ways, but the record hasn't been good enough. We've been very clear on that. We've also been very clear on how we've lost and why we've lost and where we've lost the games, and we want to make sure that we're really thorough with that, and you don't make the same mistake twice. And we've got, like I said, we've got a lot of respect for them as a team. We've got a lot of respect for the quality players that they have there, and I think we also can take a lot of confidence from what we've done over the last few weeks and the sort of environment that we're creating, and we want the sort of performance that we know that we're capable of. We come up here and do it, and that record might change.
Do you feel like over the last 12 months since that defeat when help surprise people with the results? Do you feel sometimes you've been let off, but the results speak for themselves at the World Cup and 2 wins already in this competition?
Yeah, I think we're a different team to we were then. I think Steve probably only had a week in the job before that first game. We were able to sort of put things in place. We're much clearer on how we want to play, and also our games evolved not just from then but also since the World Cup. We have surprised some people. I think the fundamentals of the team, the core of this team is about how hard we work and how much we're willing to fight, and how much we love doing that. So that won't change. Obviously, we've built on our attack, and Felix Jones coming in, taking our defence to another level. That's been great. So we're very clear on how we want to play and how we want to take Scotland on the weekend.
On the day you mentioned, the drive in, and you'll have that noise and the walk out and the anthems. How do you balance the emotion with the clarity that's required in a test match of this?
Yeah, I think it's something that you get used to over the years. The guys that haven't been lucky enough to have done it yet in their careers, we've got a couple of young guys early on in their international career. I think it's important to make it clear what's coming, and it's a hostile environment. The Scottish crowd are brilliant. I love playing here, not because it's necessarily very easy, but almost because it's not that easy. So we're going to be very clear on that. We're also a team that put a lot of emphasis on the detail of the game and where we need to be and when and why. So you double down on the clarity, but also I think it's a huge opportunity for us, more experienced players who have been in and around bigger games like this, to sort of really lead from the front and show the younger guys the way.
What would you mean to hold the Calcutta Cup on Saturday, or your family there and everything that's happened?
Yeah, it would mean everything. It's we know that it's going to take a lot of hard work for us to get there, but I'm very confident in the way that we've been going about things this week, and the little things that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, that we're capable of doing that, and to have my family there to be able to witness it is going to mean a lot to me.
How difficult have the past couple of weeks been mentally, and how much inspiration will you take from your mother's memory going into the game?
Yeah, look, it's I'm not going to lie and say that it's been easy. It's been horrible. It's been brutal. But like I said previously, it's been great to be able to come back into such a positive environment, one where people genuinely care about you, care about making the most for you, and I know that my mum will be watching somewhere. The rest of my family are going to be in the stands, and it'll be great.